What's up, Juju Gang? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm trying to do well. As you guys know, I got COVID literally the beginning of this week, so apologies for no videos out there. But you'll see, I finally got my Juju Gang hat in, so hopefully this helps. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, city, state, country. Don't make too much fun of me in this stream for kind of looking like crap, because I made it here, didn't I? Another Tesla Power Hour, and I really want... Whoa, what is happening? 196.82 sitting on Tesla. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. City, state, country. I'll read off some places here in a second. Folks, what is... Anyone know what's happening? I'm going to have to read the wire here after I read the comments. But, man, okay. DRK, how's it going? Crest, Mark in the chat. Brad, let me go. Yeah. Also, let me know where the audio is coming in terms of levels and all that stuff as usual. Matthew says, hot mic. Yes. Oh, the audio's bad. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to... Is that... Okay, hold on. Is this a little bit better? Hopefully it is. Hold on. Let me bring it down a little bit. Okay. Working on it now. My mic is hot. Okay. Is that better? I don't know. Maybe I banged up the mic or something when I was adjusting stuff today. It took me... Okay, much better. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, I have no idea what's happening here with the stop, but I'm going to read off some places. Just throw in your city, state, country, whatever you guys feel comfortable sharing. In case you want to know, and I'll wait for the comments here because there's like a 2-second delay. I basically got sick, I want to say Monday or Sunday night. I got sick. And Monday morning I woke up, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm pretty much out of it. But I thought I wasn't that bad. I was like, okay, I'll get away with it. I didn't really know. And then Tuesday morning I was supposed to do the Matt Smith Good Soil live stream with him. Shout, Matt, sorry for bailing on you. And I woke up on Tuesday, I was like, this is not good. Like, I just felt like terrible. But I tested because I have all these COVID test kits laying around from a couple of years back. Just like I stockpiled these because they were all for free from the pharmacy. And you just never know when you're going to need something like that. So I tested and I was like, damn, I'm positive. And I tested again just to make sure it wasn't a false positive. It was a positive. So that's all I really needed. Yes, I got the Juju here. Yes, I do. And let me read off some places now. Marco Highland, that's awesome, Bruce. How's it going? This is my new voice. Yes. Exactly. Shout out to you guys. You know, I really could have bailed on today, but I really wanted to just hang out because you guys know next Friday I'm in Toronto. Abby and I are in Toronto. So I'm not sure if I can do a power hour there. I probably can. It's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time. I've never done a power hour stream on the East Coast. I don't think I can from the hotel. Folks, what is happening here with Tesla stock? 197. Folks, look at the green bars since we started streaming. Okay. And then the following Friday, you guys know I'm back in the office. So if I'm back in the office, and sorry for the Windows announcements there, I'm back in the office after that. So you guys know I have to reschedule my power hour streams. 2.5 years going straight on Friday power hours. I'm going to have to find a new time for scheduling purposes. I'm thinking the weekend, probably a Sunday, but I guess we'll find out. Mannheim in Germany, Guadalajara, Mexico. Guillermo, how's it going? Lone Star State, love it. Judy, how's it going? Leduc, Norway. Cindy, how's it going? Juju County, thank you. I very appreciate that. Chicago. Groton, Massachusetts. My mic is clipping. Okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. Okay. Stockholm, Sweden, Norway. Hold on. Let's see here. Is this... You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put my audio settings on automatically adjust mic volume. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Shouldn't be clipping now. At least I hope. Okay. Let me know if it's better now. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Yes, hit the like. Apologies for the folks. What do you expect? I literally just joined. I just walked in this office for the first time this week. I needed to get all set up in like 10 minutes, but it is what it is. Thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate it. I promise, as the stream goes on, less technical difficulties will be around. Okay, thank you, Mimi. Again, let me know if it's getting better. Hadouken, shout out to you. I saw that Hadouken got his what was it called? His fanny pack. See, my COVID brain's on. His fanny pack, his Juju Gang fanny pack today. Thank you for sharing the photo in the Discord for that. Paco from Cape Town, Atlanta. Better? Okay, much better. Okay, perfect. Great. Look, folks, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Quebec, good to hear it's sounding better now. You were sounding like a Tesla bot, really. what were my worst symptoms? This one wasn't as bad as the first time I got COVID. The first time I got COVID was when I was unvaxxed in March of 21. I think some original Juju Gang members probably even remember that. That was when vaccines weren't even out yet. That came out in the summer of that year, and I got COVID. I got hit hard with COVID for 2 weeks. I was bedridden. It was bad, man. Like back then, I had very sensitive skin. Like my back was very sensitive, headaches. Felt nauseous. I couldn't breathe deeper than a couple seconds. This time around, my worst symptoms was probably headaches, and I had like this weird sensitivity around my mouth, but it was mostly like a heady cold type of symptom, so it wasn't terrible. But again, my relativeness is compared to last one. So, Long Island, thank you, Mimi. Okay, yeah, no kidding. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I don't know if it was that or I had some sort of immunity from last time, whatever it was, but I'm happy it wasn't as bad. Like I'm definitely not complaining about that. And I think I'm on the tail end of it now. I'm still testing positive, but it is what it is. Scooter, how's it going? And I'm excited to go to Toronto next week. So I'm really just hoping like it will be fine by then. I'm very confident, but I just don't want our trip to be impeded at all by that. So I'm leaving on Wednesday I'm leaving on Investor Day for that. Okay, so I got a lot to catch up on. 196.52 setting on Tesla. The entire week's been a blur for me, so I'm just going to do a quick recap in terms of stock price and just so I can get a sense of where we were even at. The 21st was the first trading day, and you know that we pretty much started the week at 203. We're sitting here at 196. So for all intents and purposes, this is a classic nothing burger week so far. What is interesting, though, is do we finish today, and it seems like we are, above our 21 moving average? Again, we closed below our 9, our 9 and 21. We look at them in terms of crosses, in terms of seeing bull or bear trends. Obviously, closing below the 9 yesterday is not great. And today's PCE report, which I want to share actually going forward, is right here. So, sorry. Gary Black tweets this out. The PCE deflator came in hotter than expected month over month, plus 6% versus plus 5% expected. Core month over month coming in at 60 basis points up versus 40 basis points expected. This will punish growth stocks as today increases the odds of a 50 basis point hike in March's FOMC meeting. So, inflation data has not come in the way that we'd like it to. Jumped the gun on that, of course. I think everyone did. But we know that inflation is not going to go down linearly. It's going to go down over time, but there might be bumps on the road to go ahead. Now, one data point doesn't kill the whole mentality of where our terminal rates might be. Maybe they get up a little bit. But it's not good. Let's just put it that way. If we're being intellectually honest, the data that came in here gives the Fed the ability to continue to raise rates and show their hawkish face like they're going to continue to do. So that's kind of the problem of what's happening here, in my opinion. Hold on. Is my mic really that bad? Okay, hold on. Let me just pull up my... hold on. Okay. Volume has dropped. Oh, you know what? That's probably, I know exactly why that's happening, but hold on one second. All right. Okay. Hopefully it's better. Again, the volumes might be different here, but that's what happens when I didn't set up everything today. So yeah, no kidding. So that's kind of where we're sitting at with PCE. In case why you're wondering why this matters, look, I think it's important to say that the Fed cares more about PCE than any other inflation metric out there. Like, quite literally. Inflation metric. So, okay, hold on. Let me just unplug this thing. Okay, maybe the unplugging and replugging, the old trick, works a little bit better. So, the Federal Reserve, all they care about is PCE. Like, they've said the CPI is great, and of course it makes a lot of headlines, but for all intents and purposes, all we really care about is PCE. I mean, they've said that. Better. Okay, Good. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. How many times do I have to fix this thing? And appreciate you guys letting me know in the comments. Much better. Okay. I did unplug and replug this before, so maybe that screwed something up. Crisp sound. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I love to hear that. So back on my train of thought. It's already hard enough with COVID to think, but so we talk about higher terminal rates in the dot plan. I think it's important to keep an eye on now. How high do those terminal rates really get? And not only that, how does the Fed, because the Fed was close to signaling an end. It was close. It didn't say so, but it said, look, data comes out and it shows us that we're going to be, that everything's going to look good. Well, we're open to changing our hypothesis there. And that was so bullish on the last meeting. And now the problem is this data comes out hotter than expected. Of course, this might get revised down. That's another aspect of this that we have to keep into consideration. The PCE can get revised. And if that happens, great. But let's not hold our breath for that. That's the problem that I'm having. And that's why when we look at stocks today, Tesla's down 2.2%. The Nasdaq is down 1.6%. The S&P 500 is only down 1%. But that's why we're seeing weakness generally today. And if you guys remember as well, I painted a picture last week with the Nasdaq especially. I said, look at the indices. We're approaching a key level, and that was a 300-day moving average right around here. This are our daily candlesticks, right? And I said, look, watch out for getting slapped off of the 300-day. And essentially, we've gotten slapped off the 300-day. Now the question is, does the 200-day hold? The 200-day is our blue trend line right here. And yes, we're closing above it today, so that's good to see. But a close below the 200-day probably brings us back. A lot of technical people are saying back into the lows that we retested previously. Now, I'm not sure if we can jump the gun straight to that conclusion just yet, but the 200-day level is going to be key. So as we approach Investors Day next week, a lot of the mental energy that we all have is, perhaps around how's Tesla going to perform? And that's the first question I want to ask in the comments today. How do you think Tesla stock performs next week amidst or prior to Investors Day? Throw that in the chat. And if you want to come on, here's the link to come on to the stream and join and call into the show, so to speak. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the well wishes. I'm just catching up on the chat now. Thank you. Thank you. And good to hear about the mic. Montreal all the way. How's it going? Thank you, Dukin, for the definition. So let's see what people think. Let's see what you guys think about sentiment for next week. Gets pumped to 240, rocket plus 10. See, this is the thing. I think everyone is on the bull trend, up and then down, up. So everyone, well, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but a lot of people, I think the sentiment is, and albeit I haven't caught up to Tesla Twitter all week, the sentiment even I got last week from the retail community was that Tesla stock is going to go up because of Investors Day. And I would just caution a little bit of realism there, because remember Battery Day. As a long-term investor, Battery Day was one of the best showcases of Tesla's technology in the long run and where they were headed. At least at that point it was. And we know what happened to the stock price coming out of Battery Day. Of course, we all made videos about it. Actually, I didn't have a YouTube channel back then. But we all talked about it with our friends. We all talked about it in the community, how it was hilarious that the Wall Street didn't get what Tesla Battery Day was about. And I reckon there's going to be a degree of that happening here for Investors Day. Now, Brett from ARK Invest, I saw him on Meet Kevin's channel. He was talking, Kevin was talking about ARK Invest's expectations about Battery Day. 196, 79 sitting on Tesla. And you know what they think? ARK Invest is fully convinced that Tesla is announcing their new model on Investor Day, March 1st. They're fully convinced. Fully convinced. First of all, I immediately think of that and I go, wow, hedge funds that are trading Tesla for Investors Day are going to love the fact that retail investors are going to buy dips, because hedge funds need exit liquidity. A lot of hedge funds, guaranteed, have been buying Tesla over the course of the last month or two prior to Investor Day to ride it up, only to just as a trade to be able to sell it. We saw the same thing happen with Battery Day. Now, ARK Invest is convinced that a new model is getting announced. Like, they are convinced. I'm not, but I'm not also not ARK Invest. So, what do I know? But they must know someone there or something, because the level of confidence that they have in going out of the limb and saying that, something that's so disputable. And again, we know that the Gen 3 model is going to be announced, or pardon me, the Gen 3 platform is going to be announced. But we don't know, generally speaking, what that entails. If it's just going to be, okay, well, this is our general methodology for the Gen 3. It's like the Altium, except it actually works. This is the issue with saying a new model is going to be announced. And let me know in the chat. Do you think a new model is going to be announced? Yes or no? Throw it in the chat. Yes, you think a new model is going to be announced, or no? It's going to take some time. Yes. Gonzalez says, I think today really threw some cold water on the potential buildup. I don't expect big moves. All of the blank days are typically sell the news. Well, I'd expect the beginning of next week and to the end of today, we got 45 minutes left here until close, for a lot of these traders to look to exit their positions. If you bought Tesla a month and a half ago for Investors Day run up, and you're a hedge fund and you have no liking to Tesla other than the fact that you think it can make you some money, and there's people out there that trade exactly on that, on sentiment, then you would probably sell beginning of next week, maybe a couple of days before. Ron Barron says a new car as well. Why is announcement is never happening on a past Investors Day? I don't think we've ever had an Investors Day before, have we? Elon's recent tweet hinted at a new model. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull that up, Cindy. I'm not convinced either. No. No. Okay, so you guys are all pretty much. Tyrone's on the yes team, but almost everyone here, okay, actually does agree. Okay, the platform, I do agree, Donald. Yes. No. Yes. So a couple yeses sprinkled in here, but okay, I think that's healthy, because if you have an expectation of no, excuse me, if you have an expectation of no, and something gets announced, I'm sure we're all going to be happy about it. Is the Gen 3 going to be the new Model 3 and the Compact? Could the Gen 3 be the new Model 3 and the Compact? I think the Gen 3 speaks more to the platform and the engineering, but I guess we'll find out, right? Who am I to say? Also, people talk about the Compact. Elon's been on record to say the compact car is going to be shipped without steering wheels. Like, he's said this. No steering wheels in the Compact. I don't think we're close to that just yet. If FSD was out, it'd make more sense. Now, guess we can get into a debate about FSD, because I know if Farzad's listening to this, he's gonna say, "Hey, look, FSD is coming out this year." Like, he's talking about exponential growth with FSD. But Elon has said specifically he does not expect the Compact to come with the steering wheel. And if we hold him true to that, we would expect FSD. And I get it, V11's out technically to early employees. By the way, has any of that changed since I've kind of fallen asleep into my COVID hibernation? V11's still only early employee access, right? That was the last thing actually I remember checking. I've been checking our Discord, but other than that, I've just kind of been MIA on the Tesla world. V11's only early employee access still, right? Like, Omar and Chuck and these guys don't have at V11 yet, right? Okay. God, got some water. Thank you for joining me on a Friday. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Grateful for you. Okay, no new models. Hold on, let's see here. Let me catch up on the chat. Okay, so Elon gave a cryptic tweet. Blah blah Cybertruck. Oh, right. Okay, yes, I did see this one. I got notification on that one. He was saying Cybertruck and then ... I guess, but that smells a little bit like hopium to me, because I know with battery especially, I really got my hopes up for the Compact as well. And maybe I'm just sounding like a jaded person on that, but yeah. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that very much. That's very kind of you to say. Think Real says stocks will go up. Announcements only higher sales and profits increase to stock move up. Now, I generally agree with that, especially with Tesla. I don't think Wall Street really cares about announcements. I think they're very much in a wait and see mode with Elon. Like, for example, if Apple comes out tomorrow and says we're launching a new line of this product, and this is the price point, and this is the market penetration, the market is going to give it a really good chunk of that realized into the stock over the next little bit, because the market believes in Apple, believes in Tim Cook, believes in the execution and the story. Wall Street. When Tesla comes out and says something, they're still at a point, and it's gotten better here over the last couple of years, at least, I think. But it's still at a point, like Battery Day, case in point, where it's a show me approach. It's a wait and see approach. They're not going to get ahead of themselves fighting over this thing, because they want them to prove it for them, for themselves first. And I get it, because Apple's making consumer electronics, and Tesla's going out and saying, like, look, we're going to have robo taxis coming out, which is, for a lot of people, just there's no context there, right? So 2019, okay, 2 years away from no steering wheel. Okay, so FSD, well, the regulatory approval side, we had that debate last week. We don't necessarily need approval. It's just that we need a couple of municipalities to be able to pass it. Correct. It's only gone out to some employees currently. Okay, good. Thank you. So, yeah, so not even all employees. Yes. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mimi. Yes, hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. It's not the last power hour. It's just the last. Well, so next Friday I'm in Toronto, so probably can't. Maybe I'll stream remotely off my iPhone. And then Fridays after that, I'm back in the office. So I'm gonna have to pick a new time for the power hour. Power hour is just gonna be probably on the weekend. I'm thinking maybe a Sunday late live stream to get ahead for the week is what I'm thinking. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Awesome. Okay. By the way, I pinned in the comments, you probably have seen it. I've pinned in the comments the StreamYard link to hop in if you want to call in. You can call, actually. I realize this. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. You can call in to the show, or you can camera into the show. I'll get you in either way. Just let me know. Or click on the link. You can do it off your phone too. And I get it. A lot of you guys are probably at work. Probably can't just keep calling into random Tesla shows like this. Anyways, the door is open. Whatever gets me talking less. 197.19 sent on Tesla. We'll play our Tesla closing price guessing game soon. Why in Toronto? I'm actually oh, you're in Scarborough. Nice, Jay. I'm going to Toronto with Avi just as a casual kind of get out. I think we found pretty cheap flights. She's never been to Toronto. So she's always wanted to go. I've been, but not for that long, only for a work trip. And yeah, I mean, you know what sucks? I'm hearing in the GTA area, there's snow and there's like ice storms or whatever happening in that kind of general area right now. So thank you, Messi. Appreciate that. Yes. Should I do a quick plug? PSLAGG.com. Check it out. Go get yourself this is what Hadouken got today. God. Go get yourself a hat. I actually wanted this one, but it was way faster for me to get this hat shipped in. But go check it out if you want anything. Remember, coupon code Juju for 10% off. Okay, so I got also, hold on. Hanif has a question. If you guys, if by the way, if there's questions and I go through the chat, just mark them, just put a couple question marks before your question and I'll star and maybe I can get to them towards the end or whatever as well. But I appreciate the question. Any news from Jeff Don on the battery chemistry improvements? He signed a new deal with Tesla 2021. Jeff Don's been a little bit quiet. I think I did see an interview that was resurfaced with him on Twitter. And for anyone that doesn't know, Jeff Don is a researcher out of Halifax, I think, here in Canada, out of Dalhousie, I want to say. And he was monumental in the Battery Day era. Like that was decades ago or something, right? With the 4680s and talking about this battery cell chemistry. And that was back when everyone and their mom, including myself, thought we had PhDs in battery chemistry. And he's been a little bit quiet, but I have seen some more stuff surface around. Here's the problem I have with battery tech is I really need someone to dumb it down for me. I'm not a smart guy. Jordan Gieske out of the limiting factor does an amazing job breaking it down for people like me, for lay people. And I think even then I have to rewatch stuff to understand and to get to the engineering perspective that apparently that you have to really know. So I have this approach when it comes to battery tech that it's generally speaking something that I like to get the higher level surface on and the general approach, but I don't like to get in the super weeds too much of it because first of all, I don't think I'm capable of it. Uh, I shouldn't say that. I think I'm capable of whatever I want to do, but I just don't have the fine tuning for it. Let's put it that way. Um, and then also, I think it's just better. It's better to have for me a general macro perspective on the business angle of it. But Jeffrey Don, hey, if Jeff's listening, if Dr. Don's listening, come on the channel and explain it to us. People want to call me. Yeah, this is the trucker hat, and it's on the site, but you have to go to Shopful catalog to find this one. The Hockey Hall of Fame is great. Yes, I'm actually that's on our list, Richard. Yes, I'm very excited about the Hockey Hall of Fame. I'm hoping we can get into that, do the CN Tower stuff like that. Whoa, 40 what? Holy crap. Minus 43. Thank you, Hadouken. Hadouken is on the Chat GPT game. I'm not sure if he's Googling this or not. Maybe he's binging it, knowing him. Thank you I'll leave that up here for a second. I was going great. Does Juju make you more sick? No, I'm actually eating some right now. I didn't have enough this week, but probably could have had more. Okay. Got seeds in this though. Not good. Okay. We got friend of the show. I think you guys will all be excited to hear from this guy. Mr. Emmett Peppers. How's it going, Emmett?
Good. How about you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming in great. And is that the Model X? Or no, that's your Plaid.
Yeah, just in my Model S here. Was listening to your driving, got a few minutes, figured I'd test out this link and just say hi. See how I mean, it's a rough
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a tough market. The whole macro market's just like reevaluating all the growth equities, and Tesla's caught in the mix there. And short term, it's tough to see that, but as a long term investor, all eyes are on Investor Day next week, and it's exciting.
Yeah, what are your predictions, if you have any, for Investors Day? Everyone's saying their new model is going to get announced, and Tesla's going to go up 20% the day after, and all this stuff. How low are you? Knowing you, I think you're probably more healthier with your expectations on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the stock's going to react, to be honest. I mean, all these big days, the stock usually, more often than not, drops 10%, the next day. So I think that's, if I had to actually, if I was not an enthusiast, if I was like not a Tesla fan and Tesla long-term investor, I was just coming to the, with the knowledge I have, just coming to make a bet, I would buy like short-term put options on Tesla stock that week for next week, but that's not, I'm a long-term Tesla, that goes against my my blood, as a long-term Tesla investor. I can't do that. But
yeah.
So I that's what I would bet. It doesn't mean that's going to happen. It could go up. I think after the Model 3, the only major announcement I remember the stock really ramping up the next couple of days was the Model 3 announcement. And I think the main thing there was how many reservations, the specs were amazing, but then like the quantifiable, like Tesla got 1 million reservations in the first few days after this or something, that I think surprised a lot of institutional investors and just investors overall to say, wow, this is bigger than I thought.
The entire news about the Gen 3 platform and everything, obviously that's exciting, I'm sure, to you. But how much weight do you put in that in the short run? Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, and by the end of the year, Tesla should have deliveries on this thing, or at this cheaper price point, or 50% cost reduction. Is this a 3 to 5 year play, or a 3 to 5 year horizon that we're going to get from Tesla this week, or is it going to be a shorter term thing? And Tesla's learned from talking about other products that let's just wait right before we're allowed to produce these for us to talk about them.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe they'll pre-announce, like they'll give some specs of some Gen 3 platform, which my personal thought is more going to be a robotaxi vehicle, not like not a consumer vehicle, and that's just my speculation. And so I think that's what I think makes most sense for them, because they can't even meet demand for the current Model 3. They're going to get the Model 3 down with the Highland project in price, another 5 or 10,000, let's say, in price, starting price, and that like triples the demand when you go down, $10,000 in the price point of a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And so they're just going to have a hard time meeting supply of the current models as they lower prices a little bit further on the current models. I think they're going to have a very hard time just so to introduce like a new Gen 2 platform that's like a $25,000 starting price or $20,000 starting price or whatever, like there's no way they're ever going to meet that demand. Like they're just going to totally cannibalize Model 3 and Model Y at the same time. So I don't think that makes sense to me that it'll be like a consumer product at $20 or $25,000 price point. I think if anything, they'll just iterate on manufacturing for the Model 3 and Model Y and get those lower in price, but there'll be some kind of robotaxi platform they'll announce. That's my thought.
What about China though? Because in China, I think China is a unique market in that it does like the new shiny model
Yeah.
more than like older stuff. Like, you talked about the Chinese culture. I think in that it was that interview that you did with the person that heads up the Shanghai factory,
Yeah.
that manager there, and he was talking about, well, people in Chinese culture are kind of getting sick of the same old design with Tesla, and they want that new thing. And even though the specs aren't that great, yeah, like, do you think there's something there? And there was that rumor going around with the Gigapress heading to Asia. We don't necessarily know where. Do you think it makes sense there for Tesla to be like, hey, we're not going to announce a $25,000 model in North America, but in China we're doing it because we need to penetrate the lower market there?
I think they're going to keep iterating on the Model 3 and have different versions of the Model 3. Maybe that's what they'll do. I think. I mean, I think they shut down the Model 3 product line just in the last couple of weeks. They're reinstalling new equipment to manufacture the model. It's pretty much, in my mind, the Highland Project Model 3, which is like a revamped, refreshed Model 3, just like the Model S was refreshed and the Model X have been refreshed. Now it's time for the Model 3 to get refreshed, and I think that'll get excitement in the Chinese market again. It'll be maybe the same price point to start out, or maybe a lower price point, but it'll be like something new about it that'll be cool. It'll look a little different. And I think maybe they just kind of iterate on the Model 3 like that over time, and maybe into China Design Studio kind of takes charge of that and leads with that a lot, and then some of those redesigns come to the US and other places. That's my thinking out loud best guess.
Yeah, that makes sense because, yeah, I mean, why else would they? Everyone talked about Hardware 4 potentially being the reason they wanted to like revamp all these inner fittings and stuff. But yeah, that makes sense. And I think China is also very telling because if Tesla's really not scared about China, then they just continue to export everything because they can export these cars right all around the world and just be like, screw it, we don't really need to sell in China. We can just continue to export. So it's going to be exciting because, yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time in a while we're getting some more macro level business insight into the growth. I think Emmett popped off. Shout out to Emmett. Everyone give a shout out to Emmett for coming in the chat here. Great insights as usual. I know he was on the run, but awesome. 196. 196 sitting on Tesla. We got our, actually, let me pull up our next guest here. Mr. Donald Kenning. How's it going, Donald? Oh. Can you hear me, Donald? Oh. Okay. I'll give you a second here. Oh.
Hello?
Oh,
Can
there
you
you are.
hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How's it going?
Hi.
Is that me?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Well,
Oh, good. Okay, there
you're
you go.
all
Perfect.
recovering from the stuff. What?
Yes. I'm doing fine now. Yeah. Well, not fine, but
All right.
I'm a lot better.
So,
yeah.
I have a story to tell you.
Okay.
There seems to be a weird delay when we're talking here. So I'm just going to say it all. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
I hope.
Oh.
Anyway, so
Donald, Donald, you're just cutting in and out there a little bit. Maybe if you just hit the refresh, come back in. I think the internet signal might be just a little bit low on your end. Just give me a wave backstage once you think you're ready. I think your internet's just cutting in and out a little bit. 196.25 sitting on Tesla. Yeah, I think the internet's just out. No worries. Thanks, Emmett, for coming on. And actually, I see Donald moving in the back. Let me see if I can bring him back on. Donald, can you hear me? Is that audio a little bit better?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear?
Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So when I was in college, in the summers I worked for the Forest Service, and near the end of my time there, they threw away this nozzle, right, for a fire hose. And over the years, in the last few years, it sometimes glows. And when I looked through it, I could see some things that would happen in the future. And it's been glowing a little bit lately. Do you want to hear? Should I look through this and see what's going
I
on?
think so. Yes. Yes. Give us your take, please. Yes.
Okay, I see Elon making an announcement that they're going to open up their charging stations to non-Teslas. What? Hey, we already know this, right? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
This is getting good.
Oh, I see. Elon feels a little weird about this. He sees some people stealing valor and stuff like that, politicians or whoever. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to actually open up the charging system, but not take a dime in subsidies. Yep. Yeah, he announces that. Okay. And because it's part of the mission statement, sustainable energy and not putting everything in the garden, separating us all out. Yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Wow,
wait, there's more.
This is like an octopus with 20 legs. There's so many kernels flashing at me. Okay, I'll pick another one. Oh, this one's really coy. Okay, you ready for this?
I was born ready. Yes.
Okay. During the presentation on Investors Day, somewhere in the middle there, he's going to say, he's going to tell the guys off stage, hey, I'm a little thirsty. Can I get a drink of water or something? Oh, yeah. And guess who comes out and delivers him some water?
Ross Gerber.
Tesla bot.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But the way he does it is so coy. And then he takes the water and says thank you, and it just walks off, and that's it. They don't talk about Tesla bot at all.
Okay, I like it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now there's all these kernels, but I'll let you guys. Oh, I think I know who the CEO of Twitter's going to be. Well, we can save that for another time. Okay. But
so those are your predictions that Tesla bot's going to come on stage, supercharging network opening up non-Teslas, and there's another one in there that I probably missed.
Well, Tesla's going to open up superchargers to non-Teslas, but not take any money for it.
Oh, right. No subsidies. That's right. Well, that would make sense, but Tesla is probably not going to want to front the bill on that. Hey, a quick question on that.
Because this thing is telling me, it's telling me that. So
quick question on that little fortune teller thing. Can you tell anything about my future self in there? Like, is there anything that I need to know about myself, not Elon?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
If it's bad, just don't worry about telling me.
There's a hit that bid thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like you're going to get about 50 new Patreons this month. So everybody in the chat, hey, you guys, support this guy. Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Right on. Thank you, Donald. Appreciate that. That was great. Oh, yes. Someone's Curtis is saying we need to get your closing price. Yes, because you obviously have the answer.
Oh, okay. Let's see. You're saying 196?
It's 196.03 at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, wait. He's
looking the other way.
Whoa. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Okay,
I
okay,
really would
no
love
worries.
to, but it's just, yeah.
It
Okay,
happens.
so,
It happens. It happens.
all
Thank you,
right.
Donald. I
All right,
appreciate that, my
thanks.
friend. Take
Bye.
care. Awesome. Shout out to Donald coming up, giving some comic relief. I appreciate that because you know what? Once in a while, we all need a little bit of fun time. Hold on. Let me turn off this Tesla ticker here on my face. 196.19 cent on Tesla. For jokes aside, I think the supercharging network opening up is going to happen. I'm just not convinced that Tesla's going to front the bill for it. So that's a hot take. And the Tesla bot, I would find it hilarious if that happened. If the Tesla bot happened. Investors Day, Tesla bot, I guess that could make somewhat sense if it just made a cameo or something. Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Donald. Can we get a link to Don's Twitter? Don, if you have a Twitter, feel free to throw it in the chat. Okay, awesome. Let's pull up our next cast. Remember, link is in the pinned comment above. In 5 minutes time, I'll ask you to do our Tesla closing price guess. Can we save it until then? Just because I don't think the chat's going to catch up. But if you threw it in, no worries. I think we'll be able to go back. But at the end of this next guest, I think I'll ask you then. I'll just remind you then. Awesome. Let's bring up Bahadir. Bahadir, how's it going, friend of the channel? How's it going, my friend?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing better. Yes, I've had better days, but at least I'm alive. That's what we have.
Surviving the
Yes, sir.
virus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was just thinking while you were like talking with Emmett, because we are always thinking that the Model 2 will be a different car. But what if they can build a Model 3 version with a much more like compact fit, and then use as much as same components as already exist? Because what was the number, like 75%? I think the Model 3 to Model Y overlap. And
yeah.
maybe just call it like a Model 3 hatchback, and maybe start from China as you suggested, because I think China probably will need those cars more than the rest of the world, especially going to the higher level.
Yeah, if you can cut the costs and build it on the same platform, that makes a lot of sense. The question is, how do you make it look materially different than the Model 3? And I'm sure you could do a little bit of jazzing up, but the Model Y to the 3, they're so similar. Like they're so like to the untrained eye from afar away, you wouldn't even know the difference. Unless you were looking at the size. So I guess there's certain things you can do. I'm thinking the interior is where they change it. Like if they can save a lot of money on the interior, maybe make it less seats or like a smart car-esque or something like that, then you can really just make it entirely different, right?
Yeah. But I as far as I remember from one of the Elon's last presentations, I think on the roadmap it was robotaxi rather than a Model 2, because if you remember, it was under the covers and it said robotaxi as the next car after the Cybertruck.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't hear anything about the Model 2. And then I think with the progression of the FSD right now, I think Elon might target the 2024 robotaxi production and let it roll out.
Maybe
because
I'm
as
not.
You said, Go ahead, please.
But I use robotaxi and Model 2 kind of synonymously. Like to me, they're the same thing, but I totally get it. Some people are thinking they're two different things, but I consider them the same thing to me, at least. And let me know if you disagree with that.
Robotaxi can be also taught as a single row car rather than multiple rows, right? Rather than a front and a back. I think you can really build a car which has only, 2 or 3 capacity at the back, and then plus the luggage to be able to cover maybe most of the trips. Like, what is the rate of people, like 4 people taking the same taxi to go from A to B? Whereas in this option where you lower the cost, I guess, immensely, and then to a case like this. But of course, it's like such a known, like a structure that you have at least like 2 rows, and then there is more people that can be carried out.
Yeah. I like the idea of the next car being the robotaxi too, because if it's not, it almost sends a signal to the market of like, we don't believe in FSD right now. Like
Yeah.
FSD really has to be close, and if it's not, that's worrisome in and of itself. So, um, Ark Invest was talking about having like little, like to your point of having different like levels or whatever. They were talking about
Yeah.
having closed off sections. So when you go in a robotaxi, you can share the robotaxi without being in the same bubble as someone.
Yeah.
I don't really know if how that would work. It would be like plexiglass or something, but it'd kind of be a little bit ghetto. But I guess it's just whatever we get normal to once robotaxis are out. I think Waymo does that, right? Like they put like plexi between the front and the back already, I think.
Yeah,
So
I think so. Like one of the rights, it was there. Yeah,
yeah.
that Franz, the chief designer, Franz von, I forget his surname. He also mentioned there was another product in line, and it
Hmm.
didn't like sounded like a Model 2, but like maybe something else. So perhaps
Hmm.
that can be also the topic of the conversation. Like
Huh.
since Tesla sometimes I think likes to hide some of the facts, and then out of nowhere we see these like a crazy numbers or crazy upgrades. But
Well,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to upgrade actually on the FSD, because I think the team, like since they were mainly working on two branches to improve the 1069 and at the same time try to merge the 11.3, I think once that merge happens, I think the progress on the FSD will be even increasing. Although
yeah.
the hardware 4 is going to make it complex. I also saw James Dalmas comment about it, that the
Yeah.
raw data or the data that they ingested that needs to be re-ingested. But since there is, I think, more than, well, actually they will be old hardware 3 cars. So you also need to build the fleet with the
Mm-hmm.
hardware 4 to be able to capture that data. But I guess
Yeah.
that's also going to be side by side process. And I think the
Right.
code will be, he also mentioned that it is very reusable, like, or
Mm-hmm.
configurable. So that
Mm-hmm.
won't happen. But I think 2023 will be the year where FSD, a lot of efforts integrated, merged, and
Yes. Cross my fingers.
yeah,
Hoping
because
so.
what you also said, there is a lot of doubt about whether like hardware 3 can reach the L5 or at
Yeah.
all. But I
Yeah.
think the 2023 hopefully
Is
going
the
to
year.
show the seal the deal.
I hope so. I hope so. Before I let you go, what's your Tesla closing price guess for today?
196.35.
Okay, so pretty much where we are right now. Okay,
Yeah, just
awesome.
slightly.
Also, please throw that in the chat after, so I don't have to remember it.
I'll
Awesome.
do. Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you, my
right.
friend. I
Bye bye.
appreciate it, Bahadir. Take care.
Bye.
And we have one more guest on, but remember, Tesla closing price guessing game. Throw it in the chat. Price is Right rules. You have to be at or under to win the virtual Juju prize. Throw it in the chat right now. Let me bring on our next guest, Abe. Abe, how's it going?
Hey, yeah, sure. How are you? Can you
I'm
hear me
doing
okay?
well. Yes, good to put a face to the comments.
Absolutely. So, hi from Chicago here. So, I think I have three things and real quick. I'm a time short here. First of all, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
And then I think, I really look forward to this stream on Fridays because it's not all geeky talk. It's just you make it fun and you're so authentic. So, I appreciate that and all the
Thank you
best
very
with your
much.
future endeavors.
Awesome.
I think, I'm really looking forward to the Investors Day. Sometimes Elon's a little bit of a letdown, but even if there is one or two things which are like which blow people's minds off, I mean, it'll be great for the Tesla stock. But I cannot tell what's going to happen. But I think I'm hoping for that. And I think the last thing is based on today's PCE report and listening very carefully to what Powell's been saying. Today is the day I'm convinced that we are going to be bearish through the end of the year. I was,
Oh,
I I feel like we're going to be bearish. Well, that's not financial advice. That's what I'm thinking. So what does that mean to me? I mean, most of 99% of my investment is in Tesla stock. So Tesla is actually will do good if the earnings are decent. quarter over quarter, and they're profitable compared to other companies. So the macro will keep on forcing Tesla down. So I think generally Tesla will stay in a straight line or down and go up from time to time, but generally in the bearish trend. So I'm going to save up a lot of cash and do covered calls and collect some premium. I think that's where my head is at. I am not going to buy any call options or leaps. I don't think the time's right for that. So that's my 2 cents.
That makes sense. I think the macro is going to be a drag. The PCE report was not good. Inflation, everyone just put it aside, but it seems like it's rearing its ugly head a little bit, albeit it could be just a 1 month signal. Like, inflation doesn't go straight down. It could be, down, 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 up a little bit, down, down, right? So the general trend could still hold. But again, I think the biggest part of the rates that I worry about is housing and the lagging indicator that is housing. And everyone is still waiting. It's the elephant in the room of everyone trying to figure out, of course, housing is going to go down. The question is, are we going to see, are we all kind of having PTSD from the 08 crash of, well, look, sometimes stuff can just break, and we're all just holding our breath, hoping that and praying that that's not the case macro wide, and albeit there's not systemic issues like there were in 08, but it's a question that everyone still has on their mind of, okay, housing is down, but how much is it going to go down? And is it going to trip up anything? Because I have this kind of like rose-colored glass approach of, okay, rates are up, but midway through this year, they'll start cutting rates. They'll cut through the end of this year. We'll be back down. Go ahead.
Sorry. No. Sorry to cut you. So I am thinking so I'm very bearish, and here's why. I think you bring up a good point. I think they will pause rates almost in Q4 and cut rates next year. That's what I have concluded in my head.
So you're thinking they're going to raise rates all year until Q4?
Good point. I think they will do at least 4 rate hikes in my mind.
So what terminal rate are you thinking?
That's a complicated question. I don't know.
So right now they're thinking 5.1, I think 5.2% terminal rate. Like, you must be in the 6s then if they're raising that much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Powell keeps on saying this. Powell's not changed. I went through all his previous speeches. He keeps on saying, what is it? Beatings will continue till morale improves. I think there is a saying like that.
Yeah.
So the beatings. So.
But I mean, also remember, Powell has to put on a hawkish face, even when he knows next week he might pivot. Let's say, and I don't think that's happening, but he has to put up that face to make sure that consumers change their habits. And once consumers do, it's a catch-22. Once consumers do change their habits, then he can pivot faster. So he has to put on that face regardless. He's not going to try to signal a pivot anytime soon.
Okay. And I know I've talked too much time. Last plug. I think I am going to order your sitting on Tesla hat. That is the bomb. that completely defines this Juju gang, this hit that bid thing. Oh my God. I'm like, because nobody else will understand that. Sitting on Tesla. What the hell does that mean? Well, you gotta dial in, man.
Right on. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing that hat today, but I have it over there. I wanted to switch it up.
Sitting. I'm just going to wear around Chicago. People are like, what do you mean sitting on Tesla? I'm like, don't even ask me.
I actually tried Googling what happens if you Google sitting on Tesla, and I don't pop up for it. So it'll really be a mystery for anyone that finds you, be like, what is this?
So a couple of my dad friends here who are going to do investing, I think they will just get it because they'll be like, yep, I know exactly what's on that. So I think it's a great, catchy hat logo that you got. So that's awesome.
Right on. Thank you. I very appreciate that, my friend.
Everybody have great weekend. Great Investors Day. Let's go, baby.
Right on.
300 Tesla in a couple of months. Let's go.
There we go. Go Cubs, right?
Go Bears, actually. I'm a NFL fan here.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I hate the Blackhawks, so I won't even start with you on that.
No, you cannot hate the Blackhawks. I'm sorry. That's it.
Right on. Thank you. Take care.
Take care, buddy.
Right on. Thank you for the awesome guest streams. Appreciate that. All the guests are in the chat in the chat here. 196.13 sitting on Tesla. Duke said I bought the fanny pack because I'm bag holding Tesla. Well, that's actually it was on my idea to make a tote bag and put Tesla on it, just so if you wanted to bag hold it even more there. But I like the fanny pack idea too. Awesome. 196.16 sitting on Tesla. Remember, Wednesday next week is Investors Day. I'm going to be flying when Investors Day is on. So I hope to get updates. It's going to be one of those things where I'm going to get on the plane. I'm pretty sure Investors Day will happen, and then I'll get off the plane. So it'll really be a black box, and I don't have Starlink or whatever you need up there to get signal. It'll really be like a black box event for me. I have no idea what's going to happen. Like the entire it's like what 6-hour plane ride? 6-hour plane ride. It's going to be covering the entire event. I'm actually kind of excited to not see anything and then come out with all of the reaction to it. You know what I might honestly do is just watch someone is probably going to clip up the event and like put it into like a short order kind of clip, and I'll just watch it without anyone's reaction to it, get my own reaction out, and then go see what the market sentiment is on it. I know I didn't even plan this. I actually booked these plane tickets before Investors Day. So 196.37. How's the options market looking? Let's take a look at the options market. Why don't we? So next week's option chain, let's pull this up here a little bit. Okay, next week's option chain, and at the money call sitting at about $9. At the money put about $7.50. So that's $16.50 worth of $16.50 worth of a move priced in for next week, which is about 8.5%. So it's a little bit lower than average, actually, albeit Investors Day. Yeah. So actually, I'd expect it to be closer to 10%, but we're really not. So we're pricing in about a 9% move for next week. I think for earnings, we priced in a 12% move. We are rallying here, folks, to end the day. We got 6 minutes left till close. But let's take a look at the pricing. So 1 standard deviation out for next week is wow. So you can sell 1 lot of covered calls at 220 strike, and that's 1 standard deviation away. But that's only $25. What's $25 for Tesla? And that's gonna only net you $165 per contract. That's kind of, I gotta say, I'm not sure if you guys disagree or agree with me there, but that risk reward doesn't seem very appealing. For next week, $25 up move nets you $1.65 of premium. That's really not good. And on the downside, and maybe Monday we rally and the market makers juice this up before they squeeze it out for the rest of the week. And then on the downside, 1 standard deviation is about 177.50, so about $20 on the downside, so a little bit about even, and so $1.80. So they're pretty evenly priced actually for options next week. I don't know. I'm not sure if the juice is worth the squeeze there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Only Gens. What is that? Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even gonna bother, to be honest, buying internet on the airplane and trying to work through a really slow presentation. I'm gonna treat it as a Zen event. I'm just gonna go in, go to sleep, put my eye shutters on, and come out, and it'll be a whole new world. It'll be a whole new world. Too much theta decay. Yeah, theta decay actually has kicked in a lot faster than I thought. So, what does theta decay mean? Sorry. Yes. So theta decay. So let's say you sell a call option, sell to open for $2, so $200 per contract. And that option, Tesla does nothing for 2 days. It'll slowly start to decay because it's extrinsic valued if it's out the money. So if Tesla's at 196 and you sold a 220 call, it's not technically worth anything in terms of intrinsic value. Everything that you're paying for that is for the potential, because for the right to buy a 220 strike call of Tesla, or the right to buy $220 strike of Tesla, is nothing because I can buy it for less in the market. I have more basics on this. I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of just jargoning stuff out. Check out my options playlist channel on my channel. Thank you, Dukin. Dukin's on it. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to pull up the guesses here, although I'm sure Dukin probably already has it all listed out. 196.88 sitting on Tesla. Oh man, I didn't even get to watch. By the way, if you care about options order flow, here's how the options is looking into next week. There it is. So kind of a nothing burger, kind of gone green, but it is what it is. Nothing much happening there. So we'll do. Stick around. I did want to watch this quickly. This Mark Field on CNBC. Let's just watch this quickly, and then we'll do our Tesla closing price winner.
Yeah, Mark Field.
Hold on. Is the audio coming in through there? I don't even think it probably is. Hold on one sec.
Results, especially the smaller player EVs that are disappointing.
Hi, Sarah. Well, when you look at the smaller EV players, I mean, let's use Lucid as an example. I think the script has flipped now, where in Lucid's case and in some of these other smaller manufacturers of EVs, it's gone from a production challenge to a demand challenge. If you look at Lucid, the product is really good.
Going from a production challenge to a demand challenge this early on in your lifetime as an solely EV automaker, this is not good.
But at the end of the day, even though their revenues were up a significant amount versus last year because they were producing cars this quarter, it was still well off what the street was expecting. So those big revenue misses really kind of augur for issues around demand. They've had to put some incentives, what they call credit, on some of their vehicles. And their deliveries to production actually was quite low for the quarter. They only delivered about 55% of the vehicles that they produced. So I think overall it says, for the smaller players, how fast is the market going to grow? What's the demand for their vehicles at very high price levels? Because the market, for example, for Lucid at the $85,000 to $150,000 range, that's not a very big market, and you have some very established players like Mercedes and BMW launching products, so it's only going to get tougher.
So what happens to these companies? Do they get bought? What's your prediction?
Well, one thing's for sure, these companies are going to continue to need capital to grow their businesses. In the case of Lucid, I think they reported about $4.5 billion worth of cash on their balance sheet, which was down versus the pre.
Wait, did we just get some breaking news about Ross or something? By the way, we just closed here. 196.88 on Tesla. Apologies, I didn't want to pause the video there, but apparently we have some breaking news about Ross withdrawing his Tesla board nomination. Is that correct? Someone let me know in the comments if I'm just getting my leg pulled on that. 196.88 closed on Tesla here. I'll keep that in the back burner for now. Let's finish this video. Mark Fields I think is good to listen to. Oh, interesting. You guys are saying correct. I'm just not sure where you guys are seeing that necessarily. Let me turn off one of the chat boxes. Let me know where I can pull that up, and I can pull that up right after this video.
Previous quarter, and they had to raise equity in the fourth quarter. So I think what you're going to see is a lot of these companies are going to have to go back to the markets or to other investors to continue to get capital to grow their businesses. And in some cases, these businesses, will move along, but they're going to have to prove to investors in the street that they can get to sustained profitability. Some will succeed, but I think some will fail and have to be bought by maybe some of the larger players.
And Mark, you and I have spoken in recent weeks about sticker shock to some degree as consumers begin to experiment or at least investigate EV.
By the way, that's exactly what's going to happen. Is some of these companies are going to have to be bought out. They're going to have to be bought out. Apparently, it's a false rumor. Okay, well, someone feel free to tweet it at me and I'll pull it up. But it's Lucid, Rivian to a less degree because Amazon's backing them, and yes, the Saudis are backing Lucid. But I mean, how invested are they? They're going to have to be bought out, because the unit economics of these businesses they're going to have to be fixed. You talk about negative gross margins out the wazoo. That's what these companies are facing at the moment.
It's not like pricing is going to be a more fertile environment for some of these players.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, a EV costs about 20 to 25% more than an internal combustion.
So we just got, this is off the Tesla Bloomberg wire. Tesla investor Gerber Ross Gerber, that is, to withdraw activist board seat bid. I consider this account, Gergavin, he does a lot of Bloomberg terminal stuff. I'd consider this a pretty reputable source. It wouldn't just get pulled out of nowhere. So there we go. Apparently that's real, but trust but verify. It would make sense for it to be like a Friday after hours announcement.
Combustion engine product. And an environment, particularly an economic environment where consumers, their budgets are stressed for the months. The key is for these manufacturers that are producing EVs is to come out with EVs that consumers can afford, and you can get that mass adoption. GM is coming out with a number of products this year in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. But for these smaller companies where they're in the very high pricing range, that is a difficult task as you're trying to grow the business and need CapEx to build facilities and continue to invest in your product.
So does it mean that Tesla is still the rabbit that everybody chases because of their cost advantage, because of the money they save on things like marketing and dealer networks?
Yeah, I think Tesla is still the benchmark here in the EV market. I think, one of their very smart moves that they made early on was to go for pretty much almost full vertical integration, where they can control, they're the master of their own destiny of costs, literally, and a lot of the large amounts of value of the material that goes into their products. When you combine that with their brand, which is held in high regard, they were a first mover, they tend to get a price premium. They continue to be in the lead, and we'll see next week when they have their investor day how they're going to continue to move the business forward. But I think every automaker still benchmarks Tesla as the leader at this point.
It's Tesla's world and everyone else is paying rent. Okay, that's where we are. And yes, it is, for all intents and purposes, I would consider the Ross Gerber news to be pretty legit. Again, we'll find out for sure in a couple of seconds. I'm sure Ross will probably clarify it. But yes, it is coming out. Check this out. So that is some breaking news here. I'll leave you guys on. Tesla investor Ross Gerber to withdraw activist board seat. No, this is the question is like, I don't want to say it was good PR, I guess, at least for him. So I don't know. 196.88 sitting on Tesla. I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in on another Friday live stream. Next Friday, I'm in Toronto. The following Friday, I'm going to have to change up Power Hour live stream timing. Hit subscribe, hit the bell to be notified more when I announce it. Thanks for tuning in amidst my coughing and COVID spits. And I appreciate you guys tuning in for another awesome week, although I'd been a little bit MIA. All right, guys. Take care. Yashu signing off. And remember, like I say every Friday, put away your technology, your phones, whatever you need to do. And our winner, by the way, for Tesla closing price guessing game is 1977 Sith Lord 1. 196.83 sitting on Tesla was our winner. Congrats, Sith Lord. All right. Take care, guys. Have a lovely, awesome weekend. I'll catch you guys on Discord if you're part of the Juju Gang. Join Patreon if you want. Listen to Donald there. Or become a YouTube member at any level. I appreciate you guys' support. All right, guys. Take care. Yes, signing off. Catch you later. Peace.